What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Shoot or Shoot, where 100% of the shots you do not take, you will miss. So shoot that thing. Today, I want to talk about the recent news around Kyrie Irving, the apology tour that people are supposed to be going on, or, everybody should take everything back, or what he said about him. There's this notion that the things he did leading up to where he's doing now with Dallas and Luka and all that good stuff, somehow supposed to be erased, or anybody who said anything about him should just be so apologetic and, oh my God, everyone owes Kyrie an apology. No, they don't. What was said about him outside of the, people calling him names or out his name and stuff like that, I'm not talking about that, but what was said about him was basically true. It started off with the vaccines. He didn't want to take that, which is totally his right. I really don't have a problem with that. But when they say you let your team down because you didn't take the vaccine, yeah. I think at one point he couldn't play any games. Then they said he could play home games. So in that sense, you were letting your team down because everybody else was on board, and you decided not to take it, which was your choice and your right. That's the one thing no one should apologize for. Then your anti-Semitic comments that you made. Well, there was or not, whether because you shared a post or not, or you liked the post, it really doesn't matter because you are an employee of a company that you do not own. So until you are the owner, the one who doesn't have to answer anybody, then you can say and do what you want to do. Whether it's right or wrong, no one wants to be hog-tied and told they can't say stuff and told they can't do things when they're a grown man. But when you're a grown man and you work for an organization, you can't do what you want to do. So that was that. Then you had the Sandy Hook conspiracy about all those kids were and people got shot and stuff. They were actors. It wasn't real. They wasn't real. And then you had some other idiots out here in the world saying the same thing. Some people that I know personally. So, and then to those people, to those parents that lost their children, to those families that lost their family members, how do you think that makes them feel when they're called actors and it wasn't real? No, it wasn't. It was fake. It was all unreal. And I think it's ironic that you went to the Celtics, hated they hated you, whatever, who cares about all that. Nets, you were a big piece of destroying that team. Not saying you were the cause or the one who did it, but you were a big piece of it. And I think it's ironic that now you're in Dallas and you basically said something about the JFK assassination wasn't for what it was for. It was for something else, some big banks or something you said it was for. So it's mighty funny that kind of you circle back into the city that you said held a big conspiracy about the JFK incident, which was funny in itself. And all the stuff, the attacking of Stephen A. I mean, you can like Stephen A., you can hate Stephen A. Yeah, he's loud. Yeah, he says stuff that can be charging emotionally. But if you get out of your feelings and sit down and listen, you'll see some of the stuff he's saying is right. It just hurts your feelings. It hurts the player's feelings that he's saying it. And maybe he shouldn't say it or whatever. But whatever it is right. A lot of it anyway. And I said this one time before that when you're a columnist, journalist, or TV personality as he is, and white people call you racist, and black people call you Uncle Tom, that means you have to be doing something correct. There's no way around it. Both sides don't like it when you're going against what they say, and vice versa. You have to be doing something correct. Lastly, I'll address Stan Van Gundy talking about the best backcourt ever and all that good stuff. Kyrie and Luka, best backcourt of all time, or whatever you want to call it. I usually do not disagree or go against a longtime NBA coach, longtime player. If you play with a certain player, I can have my opinions, but my opinions really won't make a lot of difference when the player playing against them says something totally different. But what I will say with Stan Van Gundy, I will say he's wrong. Because Luka and Kyrie hasn't even had one successful postseason yet. It's almost about to be successful. They're in the Western Conference Finals. If they get bumped out of that and then, say, Minnesota comes back and win, what's the narrative then? Or they get to the finals and then don't do well. Kyrie doesn't, exact revenge on his Boston Celtics squad. What's going to be the narrative then? Because when you're thinking about great backcourts, I have a few backcourts in mind that I am certain that are better and more accomplished than this half of a playoff run Luka and Kyrie have gone through. I can think of one right now. You know what? And as I'm thinking, I can think of another duo. And you know what? I'll even go as far as one more duo. So don't give me that they're the best backcourt duo ever. And others not pictured. I'll say Terry Porter, Clyde Drexler, some of the old school guys, Oscar Robertson, all those guys. I'm not understanding. I'll even go Iverson and Eric Snow. Right now it's better. They're not as dynamic. Well, Eric Snow isn't. They're not as dynamic. But right now I think they're better. So I think we need to pump a break sometimes with the prisoner of the moment comments. It's like, oh God, they're doing something great now. They're the best. They're the best ever. The greatest ever. No one else is better. Okay, whatever. But like always, guys, I appreciate you joining me. You can always like, subscribe, share, comment, talk about it. Whatever you want to do, I would appreciate it, guys. Until next time, you guys have a great day. Shoot.